Namaste, welcome. My name is Kalindi, and this session that I'm going to take you through in this class is going to be focusing on our lower back, so a lower back tune-up basically. So when I first started practicing yoga asana, one of the first things that I noticed after a couple of months, amongst many other things, but one thing that really stood out to me was my lower back pain. The discomfort that I was experiencing prior to practicing yoga had disappeared, and it was just because I had a desk job. I was spending a lot of time sitting down, 8 hours a day at a desk, so I was getting a lot of lower back discomfort. So that disappeared quite quickly. So many of us have had lower back discomfort for various different reasons, but probably the most common one is because of the type of jobs that we have. So hopefully with this class it will help you to feel a little bit more comfortable through that area. So some key things that we're going to work on is opening up the hips, particularly through the back of the hips and the glutes. If these areas are tight, this is going to pull on our spine, and particularly through our lower back and our sacrum where we feel that discomfort. We'll also do a little bit of core work just to stabilize a little bit more through the center part of our body, and a few other various poses that we'll go through tonight's class. So for those of you that have some serious lower back issues, I would highly recommend that you just take this class as easy as you like. And this goes for anyone. If there's any pose that doesn't feel right for your body, you do not have to do it. You can opt out, you can rest in child's pose, or whatever it is that your body needs at that point in time. So you've always got that option. So be gentle with yourself. If anything doesn't feel right, don't do it, or maybe just ease into it. Maybe take the easier variation first before going into a harder variation, and just seeing how your body feels as we go through. All right, that's enough. Let's get into the class. So let's all start lying on our backs, making your way down. If you do have a strap, handy to have a strap nearby if you do have one. So just lying on your backs. If you like, you can have feet on the ground, particularly if you are feeling pretty sensitive through that lower back area. But if you're feeling okay, you can stretch out through the legs. Just let your hands rest down beside your body, letting your eyes gently close. Let's start to come into some breathing. Noticing your inhale and your exhale. Another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose again and out through the mouth. All right, now just breathing in and out through your nose. Just noticing the gentle rise and fall of your breath. Allowing your breath to lengthen and deepen. With each inhalation, you're breathing all the way down into the belly, feeling the belly rise. And exhale, letting the belly fall. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale down into the belly. And exhale out. One more time, inhale and exhale. Continue to breathe in this way. But this time as you inhale, breathe into the belly and allow this breath to start to move up into the chest. So you inhale into the belly, feel that breath rise upward. And then exhale, letting that breath descend from the chest all the way back down to the belly, squeezing the belly toward the spine. Then inhale again, the belly, all the way through to the chest, and then exhale from the chest, all the way back down to your belly. Just letting this breath Be nice and steady and relaxed. Letting go of tension that you've accumulated through the day. And bringing your mind more into focus, focusing here on the present. Alright, then from here, gently start to reopen your eyes and bring the soles of the feet back to the mat. For those of you that have your strap, grab a hold of the strap. If you don't have a strap, that's okay. I will show you how you can do it without the strap. So just undoing your strap, and I'll get you to bring your right knee in towards the chest and hook that belt or strap around the ball of the foot and just simply extend that leg straight up. For those of you that don't have a strap or a belt, just clasp your hands around your leg wherever you can reach and just apply a very small amount of pressure against the leg. For those of you using the strap, just wrap your hands a couple of times around the strap and let your arms and shoulders go a little heavy here. Press out through the heel of the foot, press out through the back of the knee. For those of you that are feeling a little bit more open already, you can extend out through the left leg. Otherwise, keep the sole of the foot to the ground. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Alright, then from here I'll get you to take both sides of the strap into your right hand. Take your left arm out to the side. For this one I will get everyone to extend that left leg out and then take that leg out to the side, down towards the right. For those of you not using a strap, you can just use the hand. You can rest the leg into the hand and just gently guide it down. If you can reach for your toes, of course, go for it. So just opening up the inner seam of the thigh there into the groin and the hips. Stay grounded down through the left side of your torso, hip and leg. Continue to press out through the heel of that right foot. And just take 1 more breath here. And then with your next inhale, swing that leg back up to center. And we're now going to come to the other side. So take the strap into the left hand, take your right arm out to the side, and then swing this leg down towards the left. If you can release the foot towards the ground. Otherwise, you can hover it out in mid-air, resting on your elbow. For those of you not using a strap, for this one I'll get you to bend your knee and you can bring the leg over like so. So this is just starting to get a little more into the glutes here. It's also a gentle twist for the spine, which can be a nice way to relieve some tension along the spine. So let's just take 2 more breaths here. And then with that next inhalation, swing the right leg back up to center. For those of you using the strap, just take the strap away and place the foot to the ground. All right, let's kick that left leg up. So clasping onto the leg wherever you can reach, or hooking the strap around the foot. Your right leg can be bent, or you may like to straighten out through the leg, just depending on how your body is feeling today. Press out through the heel, out through the back of the knee. And for those of you using a strap, just let the arms go a little heavy. Breathe down through the back of the leg. You'll really feel this one if you are very tight through the hamstrings. You may find you even need to bend your knee a little bit. All right, 1 more breath here. And then everyone straightening out through the right leg. Let's take both sides of the strap into the left hand, right arm out to the side. And with your exhale, guiding that leg down towards the left. You may need to adjust your hands on the strap. You can also rest on your elbow. And for those of you not using the strap, you can support the leg with the hand if you need. Staying grounded down through the right side of your body, so right hip, right leg, torso and shoulder. And breathe nice and deeply. Let's take one more breath here. And then with your next inhalation, bring that leg back up to center. For those of you using the strap, swap hands on the strap. For those of you not using the strap, just bend the knee. And let's all guide the leg across the body down towards the left. The right. Extend out through the left arm. So again, nice long deep breaths here. Feel that breath move into that area that you feel most of that stretch. Just letting it gently release and relax. Let's take one more breath. And then with your next inhalation, lifting your leg back up to center, release the strap away and just placing both feet towards the ground. Just recentering your body, take your hands onto your belly and take some breaths here. All right, we're going to get in a little bit more into the glutes. So let's pick up our right foot and place the ankle on top of that left thigh or knee there. Flex through the foot and press your right knee away from your body. For some of you, you may find you're getting a stretch through the back of the hamstring and the glute already. So if you are, stay right there. If you're not, pick up that left foot, draw the left knee in towards the torso and clasp your hands around the knee. One of my favorite stretches to do. I experience quite a bit of tightness through the glutes and the back of the hamstrings, just because of the nature of the work that I do during the day. So my body loves doing these stretches. There are plenty of other stretches that my body doesn't enjoy so much, but are just as much needed. So let's take 2 more long deep breaths here. All right, exhale, releasing your hands, both soles of the feet back to the ground. Let's do the other side. So left ankle to right knee, pressing the left knee away. Staying here if you're already getting a stretch, otherwise picking up that right foot, reaching through, grabbing a hold, and gently pulling the leg in towards you. So you will notice as you go through this class that one side of the body always feels so much easier than the other. So for me, my left side tends to be the side that I struggle with when it comes to hips. Struggle more with, rather. So really encourage that long deep breath in to that stretch you're feeling. This will help to, over time, balance the body out more and more. Alright, taking one more breath here. And then with your exhale, releasing the hands and again both soles of the feet to the ground. From here, walk your feet together, so your knees are together, feet are together, and take your arms out to a T. We're just going to roll the knees from side to side, so keep the legs glued together, roll down to the left, come back to center, roll over to the right. And then just continue to roll from side to side. You may notice a bit of cracking along your spine as you do this movement. Should hopefully feel good. Nice way to gently release along the spine. Once more to each side, and then once you're finished, bring those knees back to center. Bring your knees in towards the chest now and wrap your arms around your knees. Nice little squeeze here. All right, we're going to spend the next couple of poses working with our core, So from here, I'll get you to bring your hands down beside the hips. Just walk the shoulders down away from the ears a little bit more and just gently press into the backs of the shoulders and the hands. We're going to do a simple bicycle motion. It's going to be a little bit different to how you ride a bicycle though. It's kind of an extended bicycle. So you extend out through the right leg, keep that left knee in towards the chest, hovering that leg just above the ground, and then you'll switch sides, extend out through the left leg, draw the right knee in, and then switching sides. So if you find keeping that leg close towards the ground is quite challenging for your body, then just extend the leg up higher towards the ceiling. So you find the level that is suitable for your body and allow your breath to flow here. Try and keep the belly drawing back towards the spine as you move the legs from side to side, creating a little bit of internal heat here as well, which is a good thing. All right, 2 more each leg. And once you finish that last one, both knees in towards the chest. And again, wrap your arms around your knees. Take a couple of deep, relaxing breaths here. Just let the belly soften. All right, from here, just release your hands back down alongside the hips. Bring your knees to a tabletop position. So there's a 90-degree bend through the knees. From here, I'll get you to inhale and reach your hands forward, gazing forward, reaching your hands as far forward as you can. And then exhale, gently lower back down. Inhale, coming up again, reaching the hands forward, trying to lift as much as your upper back as you can. Exhale, release back. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, back. 2 more. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, back. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale, release all the way down. Now, when you engage your core here, the first thing that you'll really notice is your abdominal muscles, that you're strongly engaging your abdominal muscles. What I'd also like you to try and do is engage the thighs, so the inner thighs. So imagine that you're squeezing your inner thighs against a block to activate those muscles. And you also want to have a slight activation through the pelvic floor. So bringing your knees back to a tabletop position. This time we're going to reach the hands back over the head. Then we'll take an inhalation. And then as we exhale, we're going to lift up, but take both hands over towards the left. And again, you're trying to lift as much as your upper back as you can away from the ground. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, over to the other side. Inhale, reach back. Exhale to the left. Inhale, reach back. Exhale to the right. Continue through. Move at your own breath pace. Trying to lift that upper back away from the ground. Make sure those legs are still at a 90-degree bend and that those knees aren't sneaking closer towards you. They tend to do that. All right, let's do once more each side. And once you're finished, reach back through the arms, drop the knees into the chest, and again, wrap your arms around your knees. Maybe a gentle little rock from side to side here. Breathe down into the belly, let it soften. All right, then from here, I'll just get you to either roll to one side and make your way up, or you can rock all the way through and come over onto hands and knees. We're going to come up into a downward dog. So stepping your hands a little bit further out in front of the shoulders, fingers out nice and wide. Make sure those index fingers are pointing forward. You're pressing down firmly through the hands. Tuck your toes under. Let's inhale, lift up through the knees, lift up high through the hips, drive out through your arms and press your hips up and back behind. Start to bend deeply into your right knee and press back and down through the left heel, just to get a little bit more into that calf muscle there. You may also feel it through the back of the ankle. And then switching sides, dropping down through the right heel, bending into the left knee. So your back heel is pressing towards the back of the mat as well as down towards the mat. And it doesn't matter if you can't get your heels down. All right, then releasing down through both heels. You may find you need to keep a little bend in the knees, that's okay. Otherwise you can straighten out through the legs. Let's just take a couple of breaths here in a nice still downward dog. Tuning back into that breath. All right, let's inhale. Make our way forward towards a plank position and then drop to the knees, and let's come all the way down onto our bellies. What we're going to do now is just bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. Just going to slide back a little bit, so I'm using the center of the mat. Elbows underneath the shoulders, hands reaching straight out in front of us. Long back through the legs, and just gently pull your chest through the arms, staying grounded through the hips there. All right, then with your next inhalation, turn your gaze down towards the mat. Start to lift the chest away from the mat, lift the rib cage, lift the belly, lift the hips, and come up onto the knees. So this is an easy forearm plank. For those of you that want to take a little bit further, you can tuck your toes under at the back and come up into a full forearm plank. Slight tuck of the tailbone, there's a lift of the chest, strong reach out through the heels. All right, for those of you on your toes, come back to the knees, and then everyone lowering down through the thighs, the hips, the belly, and then reaching the chest forward between the arms, gentle lift of your head. We're going to do this sequence a few more times. This is a really nice sequence to do. Maybe nice is not the best word to use. It feels nice afterwards. But you got to do a little bit of work in the meantime. So, pressing down through the elbows, turn your gaze downwards, start to lift through the chest, the rib cage, the belly, the hips, the thighs, to the knees. So some of you are staying there. Otherwise, tuck the toes under and come into full forearm plank. And breathe. Hold here for one more breath. And then exhale, lower to your knees. And then the thighs, the hips, the belly, and lifting the chest and the head. Sphinx pose. If you need to have a little rest between these two positions, that's fine. Just release your elbows out to the side and rest your forehead on your hands. We're going to do this through one more time. So coming back into Sphinx, if you aren't there already, turning your gaze down, lifting the chest, the rib cage, belly, hips, thighs to the knees, and then tucking the toes under, coming into forearm plank. Gaze slightly forward, so towards the hands. Press out through the heels, lift the chest so you're not sinking down into the elbows. You're lifting up out of the elbows. One more breath. And then exhale, lower all the way down, back into Sphinx. Take a couple breaths here. And then from here, lower it down, take the hands back underneath the shoulders. Let's come into downward dog. All right, reaching up and back through those hips again. Just letting the head hang between the arms, drawing your shoulder blades down away from the ears. Start to walk the feet up towards the hands. Just take a moment here in a standing forward fold, letting your head hang. And then inhale, come to a gentle halfway lift, straight legs straight back, gaze slightly forward. And exhale, lower all the way down. And inhale, rolling your spine up, a little bend into your knees as you make your way up. Lifting the gaze, reaching out through the arms. Take a big breath in. And exhale, release your hands down. Beautiful. All right, we're going to come through our sun salutes now just to get the body a little bit warmer. Come up to the top of your mat if you aren't there already. Just grounding down through the feet, lifting tall up through the legs, the hips, the spine, and out through the crown of the head. Let's take an inhalation, extend up through the arms, maybe a little back arch, only if that feels comfortable. And then exhale, tipping from your hips, slight bend through the knees as you make your way down. Inhale, take a halfway lift, long spine, long legs. And then exhale, hands down, bend into the knees, step your right foot back behind. Lower the knee to the ground, untuck the toes. Inhale, make your way up into a lunge position, reaching your arms up. Add a little softness down through the hips. Inhale here. And then exhale, bring the hands to the heart. We're going to rotate over towards the left, and that right elbow hooks onto the outside of the elbow there. If it's comfortable for your neck, you can turn your gaze over your left elbow. Gentle twist. Breathe along that right side of the torso. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, let's come into downward dog. Then inhale, rocking forward to plank. And exhale, down through the knees, lowering to your belly. Hands can stay underneath the shoulders. We'll take a gentle inhale. Start to peel the spine away from the mat, keeping those elbows tucked in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press back into downward dog. Breath here in our downward dog. And then inhale, lift up through that right leg. Reach it up as high as you can. And then exhale, swing that foot through in between the hands. Lower it down onto the left knee. Inhale, make your way up into a lunge. Exhale, soften down through the hips. Inhale here. And then exhale, we're going to rotate over to the other side. So hands come down, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Gentle rotation here, maybe gazing past your right elbow. Inhaling. And then exhale, releasing down, hands to the mat and stepping forward. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, hands come out wide as you reach back up. Hands together at the top, and exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let's continue through. Inhale, bring the hands around the body. Exhale, tipping forward, little bend into the knees as you come down, especially if you have lower back problems. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, step back, left foot. Come into that lunge. Inhale, come up, reach up through the arms. And then exhale, bring the hands down, downward dog. Then let's inhale, rock forward to plank. And let's stay here for a little bit. Surprise! So your shoulders are over the wrists. Your gaze is past your hands. It's a slight tuck of the tailbone. You're pressing out through the heels. And of course, you can feel those abdominal muscles working quite strongly. Make sure you're still breathing. You can drop to your knees if you need to. We'll take one more breath. And then exhale, everyone, whichever way that you need to, make your way down to the ground. Let's come into Cobra. You can do Sphinx if you prefer to. Let's inhale, gently peel away from the mat. And exhale, lower back down. Back into downward dog. Take Take a nice long deep inhale and exhale here. And then inhale, reach up through left leg. Exhale, step it up in between the hands. Drop to your right knee. Inhale, come up into your lunge. And exhale, bring those hands down, step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Long spine, long legs. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, coming back up, big reach out through the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's continue through. Inhale, reach the hands around the body. Exhale, tipping forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step right foot back into your lunge. Inhale, come up. Exhale into your revolved, twisting lunge. Lengthening along the right side of the torso here. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, downward dog. Then inhale, rock forward to plank, not holding this time. Exhale, make your way down to the ground. You can come through chaturanga if you like. Inhale, press to cobra or maybe upward dog. And then exhale, everyone back to downward dog. Breath here. And then inhale, lift up through right leg. Exhale, step it up in between the hands. Come into your low lunge. Inhale, reach up through the arms. And then let's come into that rotation again. Elbow to the outside of the knee, rotating to the right. Breathe along the left side of your torso. And then inhale. Come back to center. Exhale, hands to the ground, step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, hands come back up. Reaching up nice and tall, planting firmly into the feet, and then exhale, hands to your heart. We'll move through one more time. So let's inhale, bring the hands around the body. Exhale, tipping forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step left foot back behind. Come into your lunge. Inhale, reach up through the arms. Exhale, hands come down, downward dog. And then let's inhale, come forward to plank. And we stop here. Press out through the hands, lift through the chest, reach back through the heels, lift up and in through the belly. Slight tuck of the tailbone. Drop to your knees if you need to. One more breath. And then exhale, make your way down to the ground or through chaturanga. Inhale, press to cobra or maybe up dog. And exhale, downward dog. Breath here in downward dog. And then inhale, lift up through left leg. Exhale, step it up in between the hands. Low lunge here. Inhale, make your way up. And exhale, hands down, step forward. Come into a standing forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, take the hands out wide, reach up. And palms together, exhale, hands to your heart. Breath or two here. Alright, release your hands to your sides. Alright, we're going to come through some standing postures now. I'm going to turn myself around so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to step the right foot back behind. Take that foot just slightly in on a 90-degree angle. So take your foot to face the long edge of your mat and then turn your toes in slightly. Heels are in line with each other. Take your hands to your hips. We're going to come into Trikonasana or triangle pose, which is a really nice way to side bend but the movement comes from the hips rather than from our spine. So jam that left hand into that hip crease and use that to push the hips towards the back of your mat. Your torso will come forward out of those hips. Activate through the inner thighs there, so you can draw up on the kneecaps to help with that. And then you just simply slide that left hand down to where you can reach. Right hand may stay on the hip or it may reach up. Now here, just make sure that this hand is not supporting your torso. Okay, so press that hand against the leg and use that to get a little bit more rotation and height through the chest. So it feels much easier to open your body to the side. Take your gaze to wherever it's most comfortable for your neck. Keep pressing the hips back behind. Keep rolling this top hip open. You may feel a stretch around the side of the hip there. So let's have one more breath. And then inhale, a little bend to that front knee and make your way back up. Release the hand. Keep your feet where they are, but just swivel to face the front of the mat and come up onto the toes of the back foot. Bend deeply into your front knee, so you're now in a high lunge position. Take your hands to your hips. Now try and lift through the front of the pelvis here. You may need to take a slight bend into that back knee to help you with that, and draw that tailbone down so that you're not compressing through this lower back area. You're focusing more on opening up through the front of the hip and hip flexor there. Once you feel comfortable with that, you can try reaching up through the arms. Now what also tends to happen here in this position is we throw our rib cage forward, which also can compress through the lower back. So instead, contain the rib cage and just simply reach those arms straight up. All right, one more breath here. And then inhale, bring the hands down to the heart. We're going to again come into that rotation like we did through our sun salutes, but obviously from a high lunge position. So you can bring that right elbow down to the outside of the knee and rotate the torso around, turning your gaze over the left elbow if that's comfortable. If it's not comfortable with the back leg straight, you can also drop that knee to the ground and do it from a low lunge position. Again, just find what is suitable for your body. All right, one more breath here. And then inhale, make your way back to center, release your hands and big step forward up to the top of your mat. And give your legs a bit of a shake if you need that. All right, I'm going to turn myself around again and we're going to step back with the left foot. So again, line those heels up with each other. Have a look at the back foot. So start on that 90-degree angle and then turn the toes slightly inward. Hands to the hips, jam that right hand into the hip crease, press the hips back, reach the torso forward out of those hips, draw up in the kneecaps, activate through the inner thighs, release the right hand down to where it reaches, and left hand comes up. Press your bottom hand against your shin or your thigh to help open along your chest. Keep pressing hips back behind. One more breath here. And then with your next inhalation, a little bend into that front knee and make your way back up. All right, swiveling on your feet now to face the front of the mat. So up on the toes of the back foot, bend deeply into your front knee. Hands to the front of the hips and just feel that pelvis lift up. There might be a slight bend through the back knee to help with that. And when you're ready, reach up through the arms, keeping that rib cage contained in, feeling the lower back elongate and your spine elongate. One more breath here. And then let's come into that rotation, hands to the heart, inhaling. And then exhale, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Press out through that back heel to help you with your balance. If you need to come down to your back knee, of course, go for it. That is totally fine. So lengthening along the left side of your torso to help with that rotation. Let's take one more breath. And then inhale, make your way back up with control. And then exhale, release the hands and step up to the top of the mat. Give your feet, your legs, your hips a little bit of a shake if they need. All right, standing in Tadasana, feet right underneath the hips. Plant down firmly into the feet. We're going to just come into a little balance. So ground down into your your left foot. You're doing well. Your right foot. Now, heel against the ankle, foot to the calf, or foot into your thigh. Press the leg and the foot firmly against each other, whichever option that you're in. Take your hands to your heart. Just take some nice steady breaths here. Finding your gaze point, finding your focus, finding your steadiness. One more breath. And then exhale, release the hands, release the foot. Let's come to the other side. So grounding down into the right foot this time. Left foot, heel against the ankle to the calf or up into your thigh. Foot and leg firmly against each other once you're there. Lifting up out of the hips. Let your spine lengthen. And keep your hands at your heart. So another good thing to focus on, especially when we're working with our lower back, is just to keep our spine in its natural curves. So all the poses that we come through, we want to try and maintain that as much as possible. Especially in poses like tree pose that we're currently in. Alright, one more breath. And then exhale, release the hands, release the foot. Let's make our way down. So feet back underneath the hips, hands to the hips. Inhale here, lengthen up through the spine. And then exhale, tipping from your hips. Maybe again a little bend into your knees as you come down. Letting your head drop, and then you can take your hands around your elbows. Let your head hang between the arms. For those of you that have a little bit more length and maybe some longer arms, you can grab a hold of your big toes. Bend out through the elbows. And just very gently pulling yourself down and in towards your legs. Breathe into that lower back area, back of the hips, releasing any tension that you're holding on to in these areas. Alright, one more breath. And then bend into your knees, step back into downward dog. Drop your knees to the ground. And just let's take a moment in child's pose. One breath here. Alright, then making your way back up into downward dog. From here we're going to come into pigeon pose. So this one, I remember when I first was practicing yoga, pigeon pose was intense, so intense, but has gotten so much easier over the years. There's a lot of muscles that we're working with in pigeon pose, so persevere with it, breathe through it, but of course if it doesn't feel comfortable, I can give you another option. So let's bring our right knee to the base of the right hand. Your shin will come across the mat, so your heel is about in line with your left hip. Slide your back foot away. Untuck the toes, hips towards the ground. So for some of you, your shin will be on a 45-degree angle across the mat. For others, you may be able to bring that foot, that ankle up in line with the knee, so it's more on a 90-degree angle. And others, you'll be somewhere between those two positions. So from here, make sure those hips are about level so that you're drawing down through the left hip. Let's inhale, lift up slightly here, and then exhale, come down to the elbows. For some of you, this is enough. For others, you may find you can release your forehead down onto your hands. For those of you that are having a really hard time with this pigeon pose, you can flip over onto your back and do this position that we did earlier with ankle to knee. It's pretty much the same kind of position, just a little less pressure through the knees and hips. All right, so pigeon pose. Breathe into it. Make sure you're not holding on to tension in your face, especially your jaw. Make sure you're not tensing through the belly. Try and soften through the belly. Just letting this tension or stretch that you're feeling just gently dissipate with each exhalation. Softening, releasing. Now pigeon's one of my favorite poses to do. Feels so good to release these muscles. Let's take one more breath. Alright, making your way back up onto your hands. For those of you that are on your backs, just switch sides. Those of you in pigeon pose, come back into downward dog and over to the other side. So left knee comes down, shin across the mat, or maybe on the 90-degree angle, untuck the back toes. Check that your hips are about level. So you want to drop down through that right hip slightly so that your spine feels like it's in a more neutral position. Come down to your elbows or maybe down onto your hands and soften everything down. Release, relax, and consciously letting go of tension that's accumulated through this area. Alright, one more breath. And then with your next inhalation, gently lifting back up. Taking your hands and lining the shoulders, everyone back into downward dog. Give those legs a bit of a walk out here if they need it. Just notice how your hips, your legs feel after doing pigeon pose. And then everyone dropping down to your knees. Cross your feet over and make your way over onto your bottoms. All right, hope you're all doing okay. This next one that we're going to do, we're going to take the legs out nice and wide. So take them as wide as it feels comfortable for you. For those of you that have a little trouble in this position, it can be a good idea to place something underneath your hips so you have a little bit of height away from the ground. That can make it easier. That can also make it easier if you take your hands behind you, you press into your fingertips and you use this to help and lift the spine. So you press down through the hands to get some height. Flex through the feet so toes draw back towards you. For those of you that have quite a bit of openness in this position already, you can take your hands forward and gently walk those hands away, just to as far as it feels nice. Maybe slightly challenging for your body, not too much though. Just finding that nice edge where you get a good stretch. Feel free to close your eyes and just breathe down into your hips, letting them release and relax. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And with your next inhalation, walking your hands back in towards you, gently lifting up. Alright, from here we're going to come into a side bend, so I'm going to give you guys a couple of options. The easier option is to bring the left heel into the right groin there, press it against the thigh, take the right arm along the leg and reach up through the left arm, gently side bending there. If it feels a little bit too much, you can also take your hand down to your knee and do it like this. Alright, for those of you that want to do it from this full wide leg position, come down onto your right elbow and you can just tuck the hand underneath the opposite hip if you need. Then you can inhale, reach up through the left arm and side bend over from there. Side bends are really amazing, and I found that these have really helped with my lower back, lengthening through those muscles around the side of the hip, the lower back, up around the rib cage as well. Let's take one more breath. And then inhale, gently lifting back up, slowly making your way back to center. All right, switching sides. So for those of you doing the easier option, bring the right foot to the inside of the left thigh, left arm along the leg, reaching the arm gently over from there. Those of you doing it from wide leg position, come down onto your left elbow, tuck the hand underneath the thigh, and side bend over from there. Breathe, smile, let go of all that tension through the side body. You might find yourself a little bit taller after doing these. All right, one more breath. And then inhale, gently making your way back up. For those of you in the half position, just take your leg out again. Take a moment here, just breathe. Feel that blood flow moving easily through the lower part of your body. All right, come into a simple cross-legged position from here. It's going to come into an easy twist. So take your right hand onto the left knee and the right. I give up on my lefts and rights today. Let's just rotate around towards the left. You know which way that you're going. Just a very gentle twist for the spine, just to gently realign it. After doing some of those forward folds and those side bends. One more breath here. And then inhale, make your way back to center and go to your other side. So the hand that's behind you, gently press down into that hand to help get some height through the spine. That will also help you with your rotation. So your spine is continuing to be in your natural curves, rather than rounding or overarching. Softening, maybe closing your eyes, just 2 more breaths here. And then with your inhalation, make your way back to center. Just rest both hands on the knees again. Gently close your eyes, just soften down through the shoulders and take some breaths here. All right, one more breath. And then gently making your way down onto your backs, making yourselves nice and comfortable as you make your way down. If your lower back is feeling a little sensitive, then just keep the soles of the feet to the ground Just walk the shoulders down away from your ears, palms open to the ceiling. Maybe you'd like to place a pillow underneath the knees, or maybe a fairly flat pillow underneath the back of your head. And eyes gently closed, and allow your entire body to rest and relax. Letting your body assimilate this wonderful stretching that we have done. Allowing that blood flow to be distributed to where it's needed. To those areas that we've opened up and released. Allowing the back of your body to go completely heavy. And allowing the front of your body to be nice and open and light. There's a soft expression on your face. Letting your entire body completely and totally relax.
Shama Sundar Radharani Shama Sundar Radharani Madhava Vrindavan Shama Sundar Radharani Shama Sundar Radharani Madhava Vrindavan
Starting to bring some gentle movement back into your body. Wriggling the fingers and the toes. Maybe rolling your head from one side to the other. And maybe you'd like to take a big stretch, reaching out through the fingers and the toes. Or maybe you'd like to bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a tight squeeze. Just do whatever movement you feel you need at this point in time. And then start to roll yourself out to your right side. Just resting here for a breath. And then gently making your way back up, coming into a sitting position. So as we usually do, we will conclude our practice with some meditation so that not only have we nourished our bodies, but we also take this time to nourish our minds and us, the person, the soul within. So we're going to do some kirtan meditation. It's the call and responsive mantra. We use a simple mantra, Om Hari Om. So I'll chant this mantra through twice, and then you guys can repeat it back. And just allow yourself to be immersed in the sound of the mantra. Not worrying about anything else, just simply resting in that sound. Right, bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Take in a deep breath or two. All right, thank you very much for joining me for this practice. Namaste. Hope your lower backs are feeling nice and comfortable. Please feel free to leave a comment, or if you have any questions about anything that we've done in this class, please feel free to let me know by leaving a comment. Or if there's a particular pose that you like to do, if there's a particular part of this practice that you liked, please let us know. All right, take care everyone. See you soon.